Hi and welcome to the vlog. I'm Tova, this is ParentXP. For a while now I have wanted to get footage of Elin playing with toys that aren't adapted.
Toys! Look! Toys!
And my little assistant is showing you what non-adapted toys we have in the house. Thank you! If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We are a special needs family and we post videos weekly on various topics to do with life with a special needs child. And in Elin's case, it's actually very, very few things that Elin herself can play with. The control she has over her arms is very limited. She's got no fine motor skill, for example. So with this, there's a button that you press. And Elin isn't even able to hold one of these, let alone find a button. What Elin does have is fairly good control of her head movement and very good control over her leg movements. So there are certain toys that she can play with by herself by using her legs and her head. And there are other toys that she enjoys playing with because they move around her. She is actually registered as severely sight impaired. There is nothing physically wrong with her eyes, but she has injuries in all the parts of the brain that process optical input, and one of her optic nerves is showing signs that signals aren't going. So we know that she can see certain things, but we also know that she can't see on a very far distance. She ignores a lot of stuff. She has certain things that she favors and hones in on. One of those things are lights. Fairy lights, little LEDs, little spots of light really capture her interest. So we tend to use that a lot in her toys. On the flip side, her hearing is perfect. She can hear so well and she loves music. And I mean, she really loves music. She gets so into it. A lot of music make her laugh. So a lot of her toys are noisy. It's just a question of taking a deep breath and living with it, I think. Here's one of Elin's toys, which is a little electric piano with lots of buttons that do different things, and pre-recorded songs and pre-recorded rhythms and lots of really, really silly noises. Silly noises also go incredibly well with Elin. So what we do with this is we lay it down by her feet, because her leg movement is comparatively good, which I'm sure I'm saying elsewhere in this video, but you're just gonna have to hear me repeat that numerous times. So she kicks it, she gets a tune going with it. That's really funny, and the funnier things are the more she kicks, and then she hits the keyboard again and something changes, and she's playing, and it's brilliant. Är den bra? Another thing that works really well for Elin's kicking is what we call the space blanket. It's one of these first aid blankets, and it crinkles. So we can lay it on the floor, put Elin on top of it. Every little tiny movement she does, it crinkles. Crinkly noises, hilarious if you're Elin. She loves it, and she will sit there and kick and kick and kick and roll and kick, and it really encourages her to roll from side to side, which is fantastic. And it is probably the best tool I have for getting some kind of time to do anything. The space blanket also provides an excellent opportunity for the girls to play together, or for me to play with the girls, or for the whole family to play together. Who would have known that there is so much you could do with a big sheet of foil, basically. Here's another little favorite. This one is Fisher Price. I'm not sure they do this toy anymore. I've been looking for it actually, and not been able to find it. And that's a shame, because this Fisher Price is a godsend to special needs parents. It plays based on movement, and only the tiniest little nudge is needed. So all Elin needs to do is touch it and it goes off in any way. She doesn't need to lift it, turn it, anything like that. Just a little bit of a touch and it plays. And she actually really enjoys the guitar riff. She thinks it's funny. We have another piano or xylophone kind of toy that looks like this, which we got from John Lewis, I believe. And again, Elin can kick it with her feet and make it and make noises from it. It's not quite as good as the other piano because it hasn't quite got the amount of space here to kick. So more often than not, she sort of kicks it away from her rather than being able to keep playing with it. On the other hand, Alice plays with this one a lot around Elin, and again, it's a sound that Elin responds really well to, and she really likes it. We have got not one, but 2 jiggly balls. Do you like my pair of jiggly balls? This is the first one we were given. We've actually been given a second one. They are slightly different animals, different things they say. Because it rolls around on the floor, this toy plays with Elin. It's fantastic. It'll roll away and then it'll roll back and bump her. And it will roll away and then it'll roll back and bump her. And it's really funny. Or if she's sitting and holding it, let me see if I can show you. And she manages to catch the animal that runs around on top. It makes that clicky noise, and again, it's a sensory feedback. She thinks it's really funny. So far we've looked at toys that Elin plays with really well on the floor, but we also have a chair for her. It's a good thing for her to sit in the chair and entertain herself in it. Sitting in the chair is probably the hardest thing we have with Elin. She doesn't like sitting there. She feels like she's abandoned, and she will start to force the reflux as a means of getting attention. But she needs to learn to sit in that chair, because the bigger she gets, the more difficult it's going to be to get her off the floor whenever she's on it. This is a little button that I can't remember right now where it's from. But you can play, you can record your own little messages on them, or your own little things. So right now, when you press it, it calls Elin's name. And she likes it.
Mommy.
There are LEDs in there, blue, green and red. And they come on in a pattern of different things, and then it's a mirror. So it's an infinity tunnel, the lights just continue in, and she can sit there and stare into this for ages. She really, really likes it. Another toy that's really good for her to play with in her chair is this little Tikes Crab. It has got a motion sensor in the eye. The button to operate it is on the top, and then it's got touch sensors on the sides. There, go ahead. And that's it for today's vlog. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye bye.